So I'm here with Special Ops Ashley Coolen, and she's actually a contract employee of Pam Nease Sleep. So she is paid to be here, right? So I think it's important that we give upfront full disclosure. But your journey with me began how many years ago?
Almost 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't believe McKinley is turning 5. What was one of the biggest fears that you had when you started thinking about sleep training?
Well, I mean, obviously I was worried about the impact it would have on her. Like, I mean, babies cry. Yes, they do. But how much is too much? How long is too long? How hard is too hard? What impacts would that have on her and her physical health, mental health, emotional health? And what impacts would it have on my physical health and mental health and emotional health? Because I don't love crying. I'm like, I can't wait to hear my baby cry. Like that, no mom says that. And so,
well, actually, I've had a few clients who have called me up and said, I don't care if my baby cries. And I'm like, I care.
I mean, they might say that they don't care, but if they had the choice, given an ideal situation, I'm sure they would choose it.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously that was the biggest fear. You don't want them to feel like they're being neglected. You don't want to have this, are they going to be going to therapy in 20 years because I left them to cry for however many minutes, for however many months, when they were newborns.
And these are legitimate concerns.
Yeah.
Really legitimate concerns. Yeah. And that's one of the benefits of working with somebody on the team here at Pam Nease Sleep is that you can get these fears out on the table. And then that individual can hold your hand through the entire process. And
absolutely.
Sometimes they're reassuring you, saying, yes, that's normal. And other times during the journey together, they'll be saying, let's modify the game plan. I can't remember now. That goes back almost 5 years. But I don't know how often we were modifying our original game plan. Do you?
Well, my first daughter, she was pretty textbook.
Yeah.
She was like... top of the class. Like when we finally started to lay the groundwork, she picked it up pretty quick. But my second daughter ended up having like GERD, really bad like reflux and breathing issues and all of these things. And yet we were still able to very gently lay the groundwork of sleep from a newborn to the point where when she was 3 months old, she was still already sleeping 9 hours through the night, waking for her feed and going to bed.
Yeah, so for special ops with baby number 2, which is what I did with baby number 2 as well, with the wisdom that you learn, we both decided to instill habits rather than change habits with our second children.
Yeah.
And it's the most gentle way of teaching your children to sleep because there's potentially no tears involved.
Yeah.
So let's get back to this whole damage my child fear, because it's a legitimate concern that parents have. Now, looking back, and I know you're being paid to be here today, right? And tell the world, but from mother to mother, or from mother to father, or mother to grandparent, right? How do you feel now? You think McKinley's going to end up in the therapy chair like you mentioned?
I mean, there might be other reasons why she ends up in the therapy chair, but it definitely won't be from her sleep. No,
from sleep training.
No, not from sleep training.
And here at Pam Nease Sleep, by the way, I really despise the word sleep training. That's not what we do at my company. It's all about teaching children, so we call it sleep learning.
Yes.
And there's a fundamental difference with my loving, simple, practical, and fun solutions. So sleep learning through Pam Nease Sleep actually enhances your child's life and well-being, not just immediately, but potentially for the long term. And when I was a sleep-deprived mom ready to jump off the bridge and take the baby with me, I was really scared about the fact that I could potentially damage my son. And there was an internet 13 years ago, but I really feel for parents today because I was overwhelmed with the amount of information 13 years ago. It's even more overwhelming and so contradictory.
It really is.
So I can tell you confidently, those of you who are watching, that when you teach a child to sleep in the right way, it will not damage them. No, it won't. It'll just enhance their lives and their health.
If I can be completely honest, I feel like if we had gone on the journey of lack of sleep further than where we went, both of us were at a greater risk of something happening that you would not be able to imagine at the time, but I think there was a greater risk there.
Totally.
Than us getting help.
Yeah,
and
my situation.
Her getting rest,
I would
getting
never had a second child. Right?
Yeah, that was the.
and so
I wasn't even sure I wanted the one I had.
Yes, exactly.
Until she was sleeping.
Me too. I totally get that too. Yeah, sleep is the foundation to good health, and without this healthy foundation you can't build the house. You need the healthy foundation of sleep, and then your child will thrive.
Yes.
And my argument is it's not selfish to want your child to sleep, it's actually self-full, because you can't raise a healthy child until you start with a healthy parent. So McKinley has clearly benefited from all these healthy sleep. You don't worry that she somehow damaged her.
Not at all. If anything, I think it's helped her. There were a lot of things that when she was a baby, she was really resistant to trying, like new things. We had been trying with the rolling over and the sitting up and the crawling, and within a matter of weeks of sleep training, it was like boom, 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 one right after another. And I can't say for sure if one had anything to do with the other, but I know how much better at things I am when I get a good night's sleep.
Oh, well, there's science, right, to back that up.
And so it was like all of a sudden she was rolling over in both directions. All of a sudden within a few weeks she was sitting up on her own, and with a few weeks after that she was crawling, and it was all in this short window of time where we had struggled to try and get her to these milestones before, when sleep was still a challenge.
Right.
Yeah, so if anything, I think it was probably the greatest benefit ever. Like, my kid barely gets sick, or if she gets sick, she'll get like a fever for half a day and she'll have a longer nap and be fine. Rob and I will get taken down like we've been hit with the plague, and of course she's fine. She still wants to play. She still wants to do all these things, but thank goodness we can say goodnight at 7 p.m. and know that she's going to continue to get that great sleep. And we can get some sleep, right? You know?
So I can confidently tell you that, no, done the right way, and when you work with a professional like Pam Nease Sleep, you will not damage your child. They will only benefit by learning this vital life skill. And you can learn more by reading my free advice section. You can reach out through Instagram and Facebook and ask more questions. I'm live on Facebook as well as Instagram. We've got a YouTube channel and more. So, and the best people to talk to are past clients like special ops. So I invite you to go to the love letters section and hear from other parents. Or if you're ready to get sleep now, just go into the Get Sleep Now section, and we'd be delighted to help you and your family and transform your life just like special ops was.
Twice.